There is no EOMM. Half of the time, the demons, they're you! You're the demon!
EOMM is real.
Why am I stuck in plaid? Ah! EOMM!
EOMM is 100% real.
You're 6 and 12. You're the activated demon.
I am tired of the mentions of EOMM.
Marvel Rivals does not use EOMM.
So there you have it. Guang and NetEase themselves just said that EOMM does not exist. But if you think this video is just going to be me glazing NetEase just because they say it didn't exist and not actually speaking about what the community is feeling, then you're wrong. So yesterday, Marvel Rivals posted a
18.5-minute video
breaking down the matchmaking, what goes into it, and all the other jazz. Luckily for you, I watched that video not only once, but twice to really understand. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what they said in that video, how the matchmaking system works, and what you're going to do in return for me saving you time is you're going to subscribe to the channel, follow the Twitch, and join the Discord because we're doing a giveaway at the end of the month. So, you don't want to miss that. But if anything else, you subscribe to this channel. All the links are in the description. So yeah, after months of people screaming about rigged games, EOMM, shady matchmaking, NetEase finally comes out with a full video breaking it all down. And I'll tell you what, the community is legitimately split in half. Some people are saying, see, now you gotta stop coping, it's skill-based matchmaking. Others are doubling down like, nah, this is corporate gaslighting. They're still cooking us, they're still messing with us. So today, I wanna talk about what they said, what's really going on, and why both sides of the debate aren't really wrong. So the one thing that is said boldly and clearly is that NetEase explicitly said Marvel Rivals does not use engagement optimized matchmaking. There is no hidden system pushing you and forcing you to 50-50 win rates. No algorithm deciding what teammates you get, what Jeff only player that's gonna throw your game. And there's no algorithm deciding that you need to lose just because you're on a 6-game win streak. So here's how it actually works. Every player has a competitive score. Think about it as MMR or a hidden rank. You win, it goes up. You lose, it goes down. Pretty standard if you played Valorant, Overwatch, CSGO, yada, yada, yada. It's the same thing. When the match ends, you get base points and performance points. So the base points are about win-loss, your current score, and the average score of the other team. Performance points are trickier. It's not just raw stats like KD, it's also factoring things in how many different characters you play. Basically, they're rewarding you for variety and contribution. They also emphasized that if matchmaking takes too long, the system slowly widens out the search window, meaning you might face slightly stronger or weaker opponents just so you're not stuck in waiting in a 15-minute queue. And for parties, the system tries to make sure that you fight teams with the same number of stacked players. On top of that, they addressed two topics. No role queue. They straight up said they don't plan on adding it. So if you think that's going to be in the future of the game, just get that out your head now. Only reason why they said that is because it will kill the flexibility and blow up queue times. I don't know if you guys played Overwatch, but toward the end of Overwatch's prime, me and my friends would pick a role and we'd be sitting there just bullshitting in VC for, I kid you not, 15 minutes at a time, 20 minutes at a time. And when it's like 4 a.m., I'm not gonna lie, bro, I'm not waiting that long. So yeah, no role queue because they want to maintain the flexibility of what you can run. And honestly, Marvel Rivals has been very enjoyable for me because you can run different lineups. When Overwatch came through with the role queue and it was 2-2-2, it was so boring. Everybody basically quit and we moved on. Now, here's the thing. Even with that explanation, a lot of people aren't buying it. And honestly, I don't blame them. For months, players have been saying, why do I keep getting games where my team is clueless, but the enemy team look like they're in scrims? Or how am I diamond getting a bronze teammate? Or how am I going up against a eternity player? Which, by the way, then I saw that comment on a TikTok. You've never gotten a current eternity player in your lot. But let's move on. You can't even be dishonest with yourself and say that you've taken accountability, because if you played ranked, you've definitely felt some of these outside factors going up against you. So when NetEase says, don't worry guys, it's all fair, it's just your perception, that doesn't really sit well with people. And they're pointing out the system expanding the search window can absolutely create mismatches. You might be 200 points above someone, but if the queue drags, the game throws you together. Performance points feel vague. They're rewarding quote-unquote variety of characters. It sounds nice, but it's also confusing to a player who just wants the rank to reflect the wins and losses. No rule queue means that you'll still end up in those nightmare lobbies with 4 DPS, 1 tank, and then 1 guy on rocket. And because NetEase's communication hasn't been great up until now, people already don't trust what they have to say, especially when there's that article that's always being posted in the comment section of every TikTok that I I've seen of them saying they use EOMM to engage players, whatever the case may be. So for a lot of people, this video isn't really proof. It's just more of like damage control, which creates even more distrust in the Valorant community. On the flip side, you've got the people saying, guys, take the tinfoil hat off. The devs literally told you how it works. The game isn't some evil scheme. You just lost because you're not as good as you think you are. And honestly, there is some truth here too. A lot of rank complaints come down to straight up ego. Everyone thinks that they deserve a higher rank, but someone has to lose. Smurfing is definitely a problem, but that's not the same as EOMM. And even if you're on a win streak, it's not the algorithm plotting on your downfall. It's just a probability that eventually you'll run into players better than you, or you'll get the players that you just rolled on your team. So it'll obviously create that illusion of a 50-50. And on top of that, when you go on a win streak, it hurts harder. So it's going to stick out more. I see more lost streaks pop up in social media than I do win streaks. So it just stings harder. It's more memorable. So that side of the community just wants people to stop blaming matchmaking for every bad game and actually focus on improving, which I do agree with. So up until this point, you might be asking, you've given us all the sides, you've given us the rundown. Where do you stand on this, if you even care? Here's where I land. Both sides have a point. Do I think NetEase is secretly using EOMM to ruin your win streak? No. The system they describe sounds like standard SBMM setup with some quirks. But I also don't think people are crazy for feeling like matchmaking is rough, because it is. Expanding the search window, no role queue, vague performance metrics, it all adds up. In some games that can feel really inconsistent. The reality is probably less about conspiracy, but more about design trade-offs. NetEase is trying to balance fairness, queue times, player flexibility, and the result is messy. One thing I would say that could drastically improve the situation is at the end of every season, stop putting people just 9 ranks down, because it's not really doing anything, because Diamond is now Eternity, Plat is now Celestial. It's not doing anything. It's just crunching everybody down, and it's not helping the case. I think placement matches is incredibly important at the beginning of every season. Valorant does this. They reset your rank. They make you play 5 games every single act. And if you guys know anything about Valorant, you already know how long them games are, 30, 40 minutes. So they make you play 5 like free games basically, just to give you your rank. I think that could clean up a lot of the rank chaos. At least then players would feel like their starting point is more accurate. The Smurfs would have a harder time terrorizing lower ranks because they have to play 5 games or 10 games to get there. So in the end, if you're convinced NetEase is lying, nothing I can say will change your mind. If you think everyone else is just coping, you're probably ignoring some of the real flaws in the system. So the truth is, it's somewhere in the middle. Matchmaking isn't rigged, but it sure as hell is not perfect. And this is why I turn the comment section to you guys. I encourage you guys to get in the comment section, join my Discord, and tell me what we can do to make this better. The likelihood that gets us heard is immense. So get down there in the comments. Let me know. I'm reading every single comment. Let me know what you think NetEase should do to help the rank matchmaking system. And on top of that, let me know your worst matchmaking experience, because I've had some crazy quote unquote EOMM agents in my games. But yeah, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.